I remember watching YouTube in its infancy back in 2007 and stumbling upon a channel called the Angry Nintendo Nerd. Now, of course, this guy never amounted to anything. Oh, no, wait. He ended up becoming the Angry Video Game Nerd, James Rolfe, getting movies and, making millions of dollars probably off this YouTube thing. One of the pioneers in the video game community in YouTube. So what he would do is basically, of course you all know this, but he would take a look at games that he thought were bad and basically just review them and kind of take a shit on them. But one of the games he reviewed had always kind of resonated with me because I didn't think it was a bad game. I could be wrong, of course. Maybe I was looking at this with nostalgia glasses, but I'm talking about Friday the 13th on the NES. Now, Friday the 13th is coming back to home consoles with a PS4, Xbox One, and a PC game coming out soon, so I thought it would be fun to take a look at Friday the 13th on the NES to see if it's really one of the worst NES games there is. So, let's find out. Friday the 13th on the NES is an interesting game. A lot of people consider it to be one of the worst games on the system, but I don't think that's fair, if for only one reason. It's pretty accurate to the source material. A lot of NES games based on movies or TV shows at the time weren't very accurate. It was just a smorgasbord of random shit that you were put into. But Friday the 13th is pretty good. You are at Camp Crystal Lake, you are playing as a variety of camp counselors trying to rescue children from being murdered by Jason Voorhees. Children getting murdered in an NES game. It's pretty different. You didn't see stuff like that at the time. So starting out the game, you kind of realize that it's probably not the best game. You play as the camp counselors and you're trying to go to these cabins before Jason gets there and murders the children. There's this annoying little beeper that goes and just constantly reminds you that, hey, Jason is coming and he's gonna slaughter these kids, and you have to navigate throughout the level. And basically the level is just the camp level. You're going around pretty much in a big circle trying to make it to these cabins, and there's all sorts of shit blocking your way. Birds and zombies and stuff like that. Stuff that wasn't actually in the movies, but you have to have some filler in these games. Then you finally encounter Jason, either in these side-scrolling areas or in a sort of pseudo third-person over-the-shoulder perspective inside of the cabins, and you see the biggest problem with this game. Jason is wearing a purple jumpsuit, a blue mask. When did he wear that in the movies? Is it really that hard to make a dark gray jumpsuit and a white ski or hockey mask like he wears in the movies? Who okayed this? Who okayed this? Who thought, you know what, this is a great idea. We're gonna make him really colorful when he's killing children in these cabins. No, it's a terrible idea. It really takes you out of the game as well, I feel. And then there's the whole second part of the game, which has you going in the forest, and you're going throughout this forest, and it's just a nightmare. And the game is very difficult as well. These camp counselors, I guess they're teenagers, but they're not very strong teenagers. They're dying left and right, and you have to fight Jason's mother, which is kind of cool because that goes back to the source material. I really appreciate that aspect of the game. I feel Friday the 13th could have been a really decent NES game. It could have been one of the better games on the system that was designed for adults in mind. But unfortunately, there's a lot of limitations in the gameplay that kind of take you out of it and make it a bit of a mediocre game. Now, is it one of the worst games on the NES? No, definitely not. I can think of a bunch of games that are actually worse than this, and I think it's pretty unfair how this game gets treated. So if you've played Friday the 13th on the NES, let me know what you think of the game in the comments section down below. Thank you for liking this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Kill, 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 kill. See you guys next time. Later.